Grant is in Washington, D.C., Independent Line. Hi, Grant.
Hi. I want to circle back to Alex's statements on nuclear weapons. There's been a lot of information about Israel's nuclear weapons that have come out. One of the most interesting came out in 2012, reported by Israeli National News, Maruv, and The Marker, about how Benjamin Netanyahu was in a project called Project Pinto to steal U.S. Krytrons, which are high-speed switches you need to detonate nuclear weapons. So, it's also out that Israel was involved in diverting uranium from the NUMEC facility in Pennsylvania. That's what the CIA thinks. Shimon Peres tried to sell nuclear-tipped Jericho missiles to apartheid South Africa. So, just to my questions. If Mamdani wanted to arrest Netanyahu, couldn't he just do that under the Atomic Energy Act, which doesn't have a statute of limitations on some violations? And isn't Israel the leading state sponsor of nuclear proliferation in the Middle East? Can we all just agree to always repeat, just like we repeat things about Iran being the state sponsor of terrorism? Can't we always lead off discussions of Israel by saying, Israel is a leading state sponsor of nuclear proliferation?
All right, let's see. Is that true, Alex, what the caller was saying?
So, no, I have to apologize to Grant because I just don't know enough about this issue to be able to give him something that I suspect would satisfy him. Look, I think, but with the question certainly on Mamdani's powers and jurisdiction, what he can and cannot do if the Prime Minister of Israel shows up, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, that's something that others with expertise in that area have to comment on. But I mean, the larger point is Israel has engaged in spying on the United States. That's hardly a secret, including stealing American nuclear technology going back to, I believe, 60s. And again, that's well documented, including Israeli sources. People who've been involved in that have written books about it. So that's not a secret. On the point of Israel being a proliferator on the nuclear front, I know U.S. has been concerned about American defense technology given to Israel finding its ways to places like China in the past. That was certainly the concern about a decade ago, I remember. But on the nuclear front, I haven't, maybe the exception of South Africa. Again, I just don't know that case well enough. There was South African-Israeli nuclear cooperation back in the days of apartheid, that's for sure. I remember, I think the Israelis detonated some of their nuclear tests off the waters of South Africa in southern Indian Ocean. But again, remember, Israel on paper has never declared itself to be a nuclear power. They are pursuing this policy of ambiguity. So you have to guess if they have it. And obviously everyone knows that Israel is a nuclear power.
And